From the screaming fans of Elvis all the way to the global domination of a group like BTS, teen pop has always had this incredible power to create a frenzy. But have you ever wondered how it all got started? Well, today, we're going to trace the evolution of the ultimate pop star.
So, what is it? What's that secret ingredient that turns a regular song into an instant classic? The kind you just can't get out of your head. And how does someone go from being a total unknown to a household name, seemingly overnight? Well, that's the exact formula we're going to break down today.
All right, to really get a grip on pop music today, we've got to go back, way back to the very beginning, to a time when, believe it or not, music made just for teenagers, well, it wasn't even a thing.
And this right here, was the moment everything changed. It was a total game changer. See, for the first time ever, record companies had this huge realization. Teens had their own money. They could buy their own records, their own concert tickets. And just like that, a brand new market was born. So what did the music industry do? They started making songs specifically for them. We're talking catchy tunes with lyrics about stuff every teen could relate to. School, crushes, hanging out with friends.
So you've got this new market, right? Well, with it came the very first superfans. They had a name, Bobby Soxers. And these were the super passionate, super dedicated young fans of singers like Frank Sinatra and, of course, Elvis Presley. This was it. This was the birth of fan culture as we know it.
And this timeline really shows you how that whole idea of a teen idol grew over time. It all kicks off in the 50s with solo heartthrobs, guys like Elvis. Fast forward to the 70s, and you start seeing groups like the Jackson 5, proving that a band could be just as huge. And then, the 80s, that's when they perfected the formula. Groups like New Kids on the Block came along and basically created the modern boy band playbook. Catchy songs, plus super slick, choreographed dance moves.
And that whole boy band thing, it totally set the stage for what happened next. The absolute explosion of pop in the late 90s. I mean, this was the golden age of teen pop. It was a time when one single TV channel, MTV, held all the power. They could literally make or break a star.
And this era was all about these massive rivalries. You kind of had to pick a side. Were you Team Backstreet Boys or Team NSYNC? And at the exact same time, you had Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera both bursting onto the scene. All that friendly competition just fueled the excitement and made you feel like you were a part of something, like you were on a team.
So, what was the secret sauce for a 90s pop hit? Well, it was the whole package. It all started with these high-energy songs that sounded incredibly polished. And by polished, I mean every single note, every vocal was recorded perfectly to sound super, super clean. But the real magic, that was in the visuals. Music videos weren't just little ads for the song, no way. They were like mini-movies, and they were everywhere on TV. And of course, the fashion in those videos, it set the trends for millions of kids. But just when it seemed like TV was at the absolute peak of its power, this new thing called the internet came along and was about to change the game completely. All of a sudden, there were brand new ways to become a pop star.
Okay, so in the 2000s, things got interesting. You basically had two main roads to stardom. On one hand, you had the old-school TV machine. Think Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, launching stars like Hilary Duff and Miley Cyrus, who used their shows to build a huge fan base. But then, there was this completely new path, the viral video. Suddenly, someone like Justin Bieber could get discovered on YouTube, totally bypassing the whole traditional system.
And here's the really important part. It was all about that direct connection. Before the internet, stars felt like they were a million miles away, right? But now, social media meant they could share their everyday lives, talk directly to their fans. It created this bond that was stronger than ever. It made fans feel way more involved and way more loyal.
And this direct connection, it completely changed the speed of fame. I mean, just look at this chart. The internet basically hit the fast-forward button on becoming famous. Before, it could take months of radio play for a song to even become a hit. Now, a song could go viral and shoot to the top of the charts in just a few days.
Which, of course, brings us to today. And right now, the world of teen pop is more diverse and more global than it has ever been, period.
And you know what the best example of this is? The incredible rise of K-pop. I mean, groups like BTS and Blackpink have proven to the entire world that a great pop song connects with people everywhere. It doesn't matter what language it's in. Pop has really, truly become a global language.
Pop music today also just sounds and feels different. You hear it blending all kinds of genres like hip-hop and electronic music. But what's even more important is what the songs are about. They're tackling more complex themes, like mental health.
You have these incredible songwriters like Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo who are connecting with millions of people just by being super honest and vulnerable. That authenticity, that's everything now.
So, after all that, after looking at all these different eras, from the Bobby Sockers all the way to today's global fandoms, you might be wondering, are there any rules that have stayed the same? The answer is a big yes. Let's pull back the curtain on the timeless formula for a pop hit.
Okay, check this out. This is the classic structure of a perfect pop song, and it is so effective. First, you've got the intro to grab your attention. Then the verse comes in to tell the story, and then, bam, you hit the chorus. That is the part that gets stuck in your head for days. It's got the catchiest melody, the most memorable lyrics. It's literally designed to be an earworm. After that, you get a bridge to switch things up a little, before the song ends with one last huge, epic, final chorus. Seriously, this formula has been making hits for decades.
But here's the thing, a great song is only half the battle. It's just one piece of the puzzle. To become a real pop icon, you need the whole shebang. You need the image, the fashion, and, this is the most important part, you need the fans.
And that brings us to the modern-day Bobby Soxer, the fandom. And a fandom is way more than just a bunch of people who like a singer. No, it's an organized, passionate community. They often give themselves a collective name. You've heard of Swifties for Taylor Swift, or the Army for BTS, right? And they work together as a team to support their favorite artist.
And let me tell you, the power these fandoms have is absolutely incredible. Just look at this list. They can influence pretty much everything. They can get hashtags trending worldwide. They organize themselves to stream songs over and over to get them to the top of the charts. They create this amazing global community. Honestly, in the music industry today, the fandom is the engine that drives success.
And this right here, this is the ultimate prize. Getting that #1 spot on a major chart like Billboard, that's the dream for every artist. It's the sign that you've officially made it. And it's an achievement that, these days, is almost always powered by the incredible hard work of those dedicated fandoms.
And if you want to see that connection in its purest form, you go to a live concert. That's where it all comes together. You've got the massive stage, the lights, the iconic fashion, the amazing music, and the unbelievable energy of thousands and thousands of fans singing every single word right back at the artist. It's just an unforgettable experience.
So, where does teen pop go from here? Well, the most amazing thing about it is that it's always evolving. The technology will change, the sounds will change, but that core idea of connecting with people through a great song, that's never going away. And you know what? The next big star is probably out there right now, practicing in their bedroom.
So yeah, the sound of pop is always changing. But the power of a great song and a community of dedicated fans, that's forever. The only real question left is, who's going to be the next big star to put it all together? Who do you think it'll be?